Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Aryna Sabalenka makes claim about her French Open final with Coco Gauff as she makes the Wimbledon semi-final. Aryna Sabalenka fought through arguably her toughest test at Wimbledon thus far to beat Laura Siegemund in 3 battling sets. The 27-year-old came from a set down and constantly looked under duress as the tricky German continued to bamboozle with her variety. Her slices were wicked, and her serving was pinpoint, if at times slow. Everything she did troubled Aryna Sabalenka. And yet, the world number 1 came through as the victor, the mark of a true champion. Speaking after the match, she looked back on how recent disappointment in the French Open final actually fueled such a dramatic Wimbledon triumph today. Aryna Sabalenka left thankful for losing the French Open final. Chatting with reporters after her hard-fought win, the Belarusian was once again reminded of her defeat in the French Open final last month. However, having sought to flip the narrative after Sabalenka apologized to Gauff, she is now viewing that loss in a positive light. This was echoed in her statement, telling the press conference, "Honestly, I think there's a big possibility I would have lost this match if I hadn't learned that lesson at the French Open. And in some moments I kept reminding myself, come on, it's a quarterfinal of Wimbledon. You cannot give up. You cannot let the emotions take over you and lose another match. I was just reminding myself that it's my dream. Why would I give up so easily? So I have to keep fighting." That's basically it. I kept telling myself that. I was willing to push myself and get those tough points. Sabalenka will now face Amanda Anisimova in the semi-final after she beat Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova earlier today. Aryna Sabalenka will have a completely different Wimbledon challenge against Amanda Anisimova, having somehow managed to beat Siegemund, who was slow, disruptive, and awkward. Sabalenka will face a completely different challenge next up against Anisimova. The American is very much the opposite of her previous opponent, perhaps lacking fleet-footedness, but making up for it with thunderous hitting off both wings. And crucially, the 23-year-old actually boasts a winning record over Sabalenka, despite the latter having won their most recent meeting at Roland-Garros last month. Anisimova is a hugely talented ball striker whose game is very well suited to this surface. It will be really interesting to see who can gain control of the center of the court with the cleaner and deeper ground strokes. After all, that will certainly be the key battle between this duo, who are guaranteed to bring the power to this hotly anticipated Wimbledon semifinal. Aryna Sabalenka's roar, from French Open final fire to Wimbledon semifinal glory. The world of tennis often spins tales of resilience, rivalry, and redemption. And this year, the spotlight has intensely shone on Aryna Sabalenka, the Belarusian powerhouse who continues to carve her name into tennis history with a blend of sheer power, strategic mastery, and evolving mental toughness. Her recent French Open final clash with the young American phenom Coco Gauff was more than just a high-stakes match. It was a defining moment in her career. Now, as she strides confidently into the Wimbledon semifinals, Sabalenka's journey reveals a story of growth, grit, and a claim laid down for supremacy on grass courts. The French Open final, a battle of youth and power. The clay courts of Roland-Garros bore witness to an electrifying showdown between Sabalenka and Coco Gauff, 2 contrasting yet equally compelling personalities in women's tennis. Sabalenka, with her booming ground strokes and aggressive style, faced Gauff's finesse, speed, and tactical nous. It was a battle of raw power versus youthful agility. Sabalenka, the reigning champion, was determined to defend her title and assert her dominance. Meanwhile, Gauff, riding a wave of momentum and fueled by fierce ambition, sought to claim her first Grand Slam crown and announce herself as a new force on the tennis scene. The match was a roller coaster, with Sabalenka showing moments of brilliance, grinding through long rallies and using her trademark forehand to dictate play. However, the mental battle proved to be just as crucial as the physical one. Gauff's composure under pressure, combined with her ability to read Sabalenka's game, ultimately tipped the scales. Sabalenka's French Open final claim, a promise that her best tennis was yet to come, echoed loudly as she regrouped, learning from the defeat rather than being defeated by it. The aftermath, lessons and resolve. In the days following the French Open, Sabalenka's reflections were candid and revealing. She acknowledged the challenges she faced in handling the unique pressures of a Grand Slam final, but also expressed fierce determination not to let that define her trajectory. "I know what I am capable of," she said in post-match interviews. "That final showed me where I can improve, especially mentally. I'm hungry to come back stronger." Her camp and coaches worked tirelessly on fine-tuning her mental game, focusing on composure, shot selection, and tactical flexibility. The Belarusian star understood that to reach the top consistently, especially in a tour dominated by exceptional all-around players, she needed to marry her power with patience and precision. The transition to Wimbledon, adapting to grass. Switching surfaces from clay to grass is one of the toughest challenges for any tennis player. The slower, high-bouncing clay courts of Roland-Garros contrast starkly with the fast, low-bouncing grass courts of Wimbledon. For Sabalenka, this transition was a test of versatility and adaptability. Known for her aggressive baseline game and heavy topspin, Sabalenka had to adjust her tactics to suit the quicker conditions. Her powerful serve, already a major weapon, became even more critical. The short rallies on grass favored players who could seize the initiative early, and Sabalenka's relentless style adapted beautifully. Moreover, the psychological boost from her French Open final run was palpable. Despite the disappointment of losing the title, the deep run reinforced her confidence and match toughness. She entered Wimbledon with a clear focus and a sharpened sense of purpose. Wimbledon campaign, the road to the semifinals. Sabalenka's Wimbledon campaign unfolded like a masterclass in resilience and evolution. Early rounds saw her dispatch opponents with a mix of power and newfound tactical nuance. Her serve was firing on all cylinders, and her ability to mix aggressive ground strokes with well-timed net approaches kept her adversaries off balance. Along the way, Sabalenka faced tough competitors, each match a mini-battle of endurance, nerve, and skill. But the Belarusian star seemed to channel the energy and lessons from the French Open, refusing to let pressure or expectations weigh her down. Against opponents who tried to exploit her perceived weaknesses, moments of overaggression or lapses in focus, Sabalenka responded with maturity. Her court coverage improved, and she displayed remarkable calm during critical points, often turning defense into offense. By the time she reached the Wimbledon semifinal, Sabalenka's form was undeniable. She was not just a powerful hitter, but a polished contender who had earned her place among the elite. The Wimbledon semifinal, a new chapter. The semifinal stage at Wimbledon represents more than just a chance for a title shot. It is a proving ground where legends are made and futures shaped. For Sabalenka, standing at this precipice was a moment of validation. Facing her opponent in the semifinal, Sabalenka showed no signs of intimidation. Instead, she played with a blend of controlled aggression and tactical intelligence that reflected her growth. Every forehand crack echoed the lessons of past battles. Every serve was a statement of intent. While the result of this particular match will be written in records, what matters is the journey. Sabalenka's claim after the French Open, that her best tennis was still ahead, resonated powerfully as she held her ground on Wimbledon's pristine grass courts. What Sabalenka's rise means for women's tennis. Aryna Sabalenka's trajectory embodies the spirit of modern women's tennis, fierce, fearless, and continuously evolving. Her story from the French Open final setback to Wimbledon semifinal contender is one of grit and growth, inspiring fans and fellow players alike. Her powerful game, combined with her dedication to improving mental resilience, challenges the notion that pure power alone can win titles. Sabalenka's evolving tactical intelligence highlights the importance of adaptability in a sport where every surface demands something different. Moreover, her rivalry with Coco Gauff, fresh and intense, adds an exciting narrative to the tour. These clashes between established stars and rising young talents enrich the competitive landscape and promise thrilling battles for years to come. The road ahead, beyond Wimbledon. Looking beyond Wimbledon, Sabalenka's ambitions remain clear. The lessons from the French Open final and her Wimbledon run fuel her drive toward further Grand Slam glory. Her blend of power, precision, and mental fortitude positions her as a formidable contender on all surfaces. As she continues to refine her game, Sabalenka will likely face new challenges, from emerging talents to established champions hungry for dominance. But with every match, she builds a legacy that transcends wins and losses, rooted in resilience, reinvention, and an unyielding will to excel. In conclusion, Aryna Sabalenka's story this season is more than just a sports narrative. It is a tale of perseverance and transformation. From the French Open Finals high drama with Coco Gauff to making the Wimbledon semifinals with renewed vigor, Sabalenka is making a compelling claim. Her best tennis is not behind her, it's very much ahead. And as tennis fans worldwide watch her journey unfold, one thing is certain. Aryna Sabalenka's roar is growing louder, heralding a new chapter in the sport's thrilling saga.